Hey guys, Jack here, and I'm here to answer the question of today. What is DDR4 RAM? So, without wasting any time, let's get right into it. So first off, to understand what DDR4 RAM is, we have to understand what regular RAM is. So it looks like this and can fit in desktops and laptops. So without me making any cheap puns about the truck RAM or the animal, RAM stands for Random Access Memory. Now that you know what it stands for, let's talk about what it really does. So RAM, think of it as a big filing cabinet right next to your desk, so you can use it whenever you want and it's right there close to you. And it holds programs and all these nifty things, like I can have Google Chrome in this drawer, Adobe Photoshop in this drawer, and Adobe Premiere in any of the other drawers or anything else like that. So basically what RAM does in general is it keeps programs that are open ready for you to use to present to your eyes and ears. So in order to do that, RAM has to be almost indefinitely rewritable. You can rewrite and write and erase and rewrite on these things as many times as you want, because you only have a certain amount of space on RAM and you need to clear it to open up more programs if you're full on RAM or you're full up on RAM. Now let me tell you what RAM does and why it's so important. To get a deeper understanding about RAM, when a computer starts to boot up a program, it takes the information out of a place, a hard drive, and puts it onto the RAM to run it. Now, this is insanely important because when running a program, you want it to run as fast as possible. And when you run a lot of programs at the same time, like Chrome, Photoshop, and maybe Adobe After Effects, you want it to run smoothly and cleanly, and you don't want it to be choppy, or you don't want your programs to crash. So you need to have a decent amount of memory to hold all of these programs and run them at the same time. Systems nowadays can get by with about 8 gigs of RAM to run on their programs for like office workers and just household computers. So 8 gigs of RAM should be fine to run anything you need, from say Google Chrome to any basic household programs like iTunes and other desktop things. Okay, one last thing you should know about random access memory, or RAM, is that it is volatile, and that means you need power to keep the data stored on your RAM to run the programs. So it's not like a flash drive where you can just plug it in, download a program, pull it out, and it's fine. Your data will be stored no matter what, if you have power or don't have power. So when you take that USB port or flash drive out of something, you can plug it back in and it'll be good. But when you have RAM, not so much. Okay, now that you know what RAM is, let's talk about what the difference is between DDR3 and DDR4 RAM is. Well, I hope that's why you clicked on the video, to learn about DDR4 RAM and what is it important for. So, the benefits of DDR4 RAM. Before I talk about this, I want to say from a step up to DDR3 RAM to DDR4 RAM, it's like the iPhone 4 to the iPhone 6. It's a huge improvement in random access memory technology. So let's get right into this. So the benefits of DDR4 RAM is less power consumption, with a whopping 1.2 volts of power consumption, besides the DDR3 RAM of 1.5 volts. So your computer is going to take less of a hit on the power supplies. So maybe you could tone that down, that PCU, when parts become less power hungry and each little volt counts. So as RAM goes down in voltage, because it is a volatile memory, hopefully so will your hard drives, your solid state drives, your cooling systems, and everything else, so your PCU can take a lighter load. Moving on to the next benefit of DDR4 RAM, it has faster data rates. Now, the data rates wasn't even up to a gigahertz on DDR3 RAM, and now it's all the way up to 1.6 gigahertz. That's insane. And one more benefit, or one more major benefit DDR4 RAM has over DDR3 RAM, is it comes from a packet of 2 gigs all the way to 16 gigs. So that means I can have a 64 gig DDR4 RAM kit with faster speeds, faster data rates, and lower voltage. That's a lot of RAM, and if I get that DDR kit, I'll future-proof my desktop. Alright, so that's about it. If you want to check out any of the major features of DDR4 RAM, I'll link it down below to the website where I got this information, and many more benefits for this DDR4 variety of the random access memory will also be linked down below next to the like button and next to the subscribe button. Alright, before I get going, I want to give a victory dance, or special victory dance performed by my friend David Panikian to the accomplishments of DDR4 RAM and what it can accomplish at great speeds and lower voltages. So, moving on, as always, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, comment if your feelings are more complicated than that, or if you want to tell me something, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.